Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're going to go deep into John Byrne's Star Trek from IDW. Cannot wait to share it with you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit like and let's get right into it. This is such a great cover. Okay, admittedly, I'm not a Trekkie, but I am like a Byrne victim. I'm a huge John Byrne fan. I always followed him on no matter what he did. Admittedly, I was very hit or miss when he did Star Trek at IDW because never been like a crazy Star Trek fan, and I feel like the comic books have always been a little bit underwhelming. I don't know, I probably would feel differently if I were a big Trekkie, but I'm not. So here we are. Anyway, this is a huge collection, 488 pages. I mean, that's kind of staggering right there to consider of X-Men, Alpha Flight, blah, 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 whatever. Um, just alone, he has done at least 488 pages of Star Trek, because this is just all of the stuff with his art in it, because he also did these telephoto novels that he called them, where he took stills from the TV show and made them pages and dialogued them, which was super crazy, but I may get to that at some point, not in a huge hurry. Do you guys want to see that? I'm sure you do. Anyway, I'm sure you do. I love the Star Trek insignia with all the ships in. That's like a very cool and different. It's almost like an album cover in a way, but that would make a very cool cover. John Byrne has a huge affection for Star Trek, so I'm glad that he had the opportunity to do this. And of course, like, he draws an amazing Enterprise. Look at that. The John Byrne Collection, written and illustrated by John Byrne. Colors by Laverne Kansiski, Leonard O'Grady, Mario Boone, Chris Oak, Tom Smith. Letters by Chris Mowry, Neil Uatake, and Robbie Robbins. All right, great. So this is from Romulans. I think he did like a series of mini-series. I mean, everything looks so good. Everything looks like so classic Star Trek. It's funny how the Romulans and the Vulcans look so much alike. I never understood that. Once again, not a huge Trekkie, so bear with me. Great double-page spread. It's funny because the evolution of Byrne's style, I feel like he's had some sort of slight hiccups in his inking, like the early Wonder Woman art was a little rough, but I think he sort of moved past that, and I do definitely like his inking style and art style on this. Such a beautiful... The colors are actually really pretty, too. 488 pages, guys. Lots to unpack here. Assignment Earth. That looks like Captain Kirk, doesn't it? I love this. That is so cool. I mean, what is going on here? Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You always gotta love John Byrne's titles for his stories. Catwoman, literally. That's kind of wonky. I like when John Byrne does like stars. It's very cartoonish in a way, but I kind of love it. Like, because his art is mostly realistic, but his faces have a slight cartooniness to it that I think adds to the appeal in the way that manga is so appealing. Don't you think? I love seeing the classic Star Trek costumes, too. I mean, he did a lot of Star Trek. I feel like that's John Byrne. It could very well be John Byrne. I mean... Obviously, this is not as exciting as, like, the X-Men or Alpha Flight or Fantastic Four. I guess there's a reason. See, that's what I feel like that was my issue with Star Trek comics in a way. Like, it's hard to compare to the show. Do you know what I mean? It's like comics are amazing on their own. Not to say that there haven't been any good comics based on movies or television. I guess there have. Wow. That looks like a B. Arthur from the Golden Girls outfit. Too much material. Hilarious. Of course, that would grab my attention. The fashion statement. We have the enemy. Oh, we have met the enemy. And it is Showerstein. I hope you guys are into this. I just feel like I don't have a lot to say about Star Trek. That looks like Sergeant Rock, doesn't it? I'm kind of discovering this all for the first time. Like, ooh, cool Byrne alien. Of course he dressed them. Actually, this whole page is so cool. I love that. That is like so science fiction. I hate when a big old slug gets in my car and starts attacking me like that. It's painful. Oh my god, this is going to be the lowest rated video. I feel like this is so boring. Like, I have nothing to say. Too many, like, this is Star Trek and not a Star Trek person in sight. Oh, Nixon's here. Well, that's good. And Byrne says he's, like, famously not good at drawing likenesses. And then John Byrne drawing Richard Nixon. Clearly, that was Richard Nixon. I think he's better at likenesses than he thinks. I think he even mentioned that was like his hesitation to doing Star Trek, but then it worked out better than he thought. Wow. Just what we need, a doppelganger of Tricky Dick. I mean, what is going on here? This is, I have to say, Assignment Earth Gallery. I hope the next series is better. I'm loving these, like, retro covers, though. Kind of fun. Oh, come on. How cool is that? How have I never seen this image before? I mean, that is so crazy. A little jarring, seeing Nixon in a comic book, eh? That's cool. I love that. That is so great. I'm a little thrown off by these textures. So weird. But it's kind of like crazy zipatone. Is that identical to the way it would have been in the TV show? Feel free to leave in the comments. Fashionistas, Star Trekians. $488 pages. Clearly, Captain Kirk. See, not a bad likeness at all. Love this page. So cool. I feel like this original art is available for sale on Jim Warden's website, who is the seller of John Byrne art. If you ever want to get some John Byrne art and have a few dozens, hundreds of, not dozens, like tens of thousands of dollars laying around. His original art sells for so much. I'm the proud owner of one page, and it'll probably only ever be one page of original John Byrne art. I'll have to do a video on that. Stay tuned, y'all. Loving the color palette. It's really pretty. Very warm. That looks like it's definitely... Who is that? The name... That's definitely somebody... You're all screaming at the screen. That is totally whoever. You should know that, Michael Troy. No, I shouldn't. I said my disclaimer, not a Trekkie, okay? Like, I was definitely into The Next Generation. Love that show. And I don't dislike Star Trek, trust me, but I just never got into it. My brother was more of a Trekkie. Oh. That took a dark turn. I love how crazy, like, the art is pretty simple. I mean, the coloring is pretty straightforward, like, mostly flat coloring. And then you get this totally, like, rendered, like, demon face. Kind of love that. That's cool. John Byrne is, like, one of the best, like, explosion drawers. You have to be able to draw a good explosion if you're going to be a good comic book artist. Crew, are we on to a new miniseries? This feels super lazy with that cityscape. All he did was do the black outline of the buildings and then take like white ink and like, but still effective, I guess. I don't know. Is it? And also not loving, see, this is funny, but like if you look at when Terry Austin was inking John Byrne, like on Star-Lord or the X-Men and their space adventures or whatever, the BWS, Black with Stars, not to be confused with Barry Windsor Smith, it's a comic term for like, if you're gonna draw a night sky and you don't want to draw it, you put BWS and then the inker has to come in and do all the frickin' work. And some are different, some are superior. Love the way Austin would ink it. Art Adams does a great Black with Stars. George Perez drew an awesome Black with Stars. Actually, it's good here. That looks cool. It's like, I look at this and I wonder though, like if this was my first encounter with John Byrne, would I be so obsessed with him? Maybe not. Until I found like the other stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. And once again, it's like not the most exciting subject matter for me. But I have to say also that I got this for like $10 on eBay, which was like a steal and a half. I mean, 500 pages of Byrne for $10. I don't care if it's The Family Circus, which would be awesome. See, here's what I mean. Look at this gorgeous double page spread. John Byrne draws the best explosions. Is this the Big Bang itself? It's amazing. Ghosts. That's cool. Love that. Okay, maybe it's starting to get good now. The away team is on a mission. I mean, this is cool. I'm down with that. I'm not as chatty as normal just because I don't know what the hell's going on, but you know, maybe enjoy the silence, and silence is golden, and just let me flip through this. Crazy, huh? I mean, you can't deny the amount of work that went into this, though. I mean, look at that. This is kind of crazy good. Okay. This is going to be such a novel idea. I might actually read this later. I guess I should have read it first, but here we are. You know, it's an opportunity. I don't know about you guys, and I know this sounds silly, but like when I would get comic books, you know, inevitably, like I remember, you know, our stepdad taking us to the comic book store and us sitting in the back of the car, like reading them on the way home. But I always flipped through the entire book first before I read it, and I know that's probably horrifying, like as far as spoilers go and stuff, but I just couldn't help myself. And since comics is such visual, I mean, you can read a comic book without reading it, and then reread it. I get where he was going with these cover designs, but I'm not sure how well they came out, to be honest with you. That one's pretty cool. Of course, I mean, it has bodies hanging in it, so why wouldn't it be? Ooh, did you see that? We're getting to a really cool-ass page. I mean, come on, a Klingon. Of course, you knew he would gonna kill it on a Klingon, because Klingons are freaking awesome. That looks so cool. I love it. They're so gross. Nice jagged teeth there. The Klingons looking badass. Ooh, this female Klingon looking scary. I mean, is that Worf? It looks just like Worf. Is Worf in here? I would be happy if Worf were in here. As I said, I was a fan of Star Trek The Next Generation. I feel like I glazed over that quick. Look how cool that is. Oh my God, is it the Enterprise? Today is a good day to die. Rife with cliche, John Byrne. Thank you, thank you. That's a great shitty shot there. City shot. It's interesting to see this phase in John Byrne's career because of the, you know, the newer, more modern coloring as far as like trying with the rendering and stuff. You know, I feel like that is a huge difference between old school and new school comic artists because so much is done with color nowadays that a lot of it's just left up to the colorist. And back in the day, you know, like the artist is, you know, guiding the shape and definition of the facial features, whereas they can be contoured and everything now. Aw. Ahura, is that you? Now, remember when they did the Star Trek X-Men and Mark Silvestri drew it? I mean, while that is 100% cool, too bad John Byrne is such a curmudgeon. He could have drawn Star Trek and the X-Men, and that would have been freaking awesome. That would have been way more awesome, right? I'm sorry. I think, and we're only have 422 pages left. Just kidding. Space fights for days. What is Star Trek after all? Klingon. Oh, that's brutal. That is savage. My God. Ooh. Sketch gallery. Weeds. Next. I like that cover. That's cool. That's fun. She's interesting. Is she from a TV show? Do you guys know? I remember the green chick, but not the blue chick. And this is so all over the place, isn't it? Maybe in a good way, I don't know, but... Error. So there's this, I think it's from Fantastic Four, or maybe Marvel Team Up, I'm not sure, this shot of like a splash page, and there's a spaceship, and it looks like an object, and somebody told me it was based like on a curling iron, which is hilarious, because you can't unsee it once you know it, and it kind of makes me wonder if this was based like on some remote control or hairdryer or something. I'm not sure. I mean, we know that Rob Liefeld makes all his guns look like, you know, based on vacuum cleaners. So he must have a lot of vacuum cleaners sitting around his house for reference. Just kidding. I don't know. There's always, like... Even if it's Star Trek and I'm not super into it, of course I love Byrne and I'm so geeked by the whole thing anyway. I love this page. That is so like epic in scope. He always gets in there with so much detail on certain things like this. I mean, that must have... It's kind of simple in a way, but I don't know. He's just like... is such a master. The master of his craft. Truly beautiful. I love this alien. So much fun. Keep going. Keep going. The art on this is like so good. He must have been feeling it this issue for sure. John Byrne's notorious for drawing bad children, and I have to say that's not doing anything to dispel the belief. Another awesome Klingon. Okay. The only thing I have to say is I wish there was a little more detail, because all I can think about is an Amazing Spider-Man Annual 2. I think it was when Warlock versus Spider-Man, and Warlock turned into the Enterprise, and it looked by Art Adams, and it looked so freaking cool. Not to compare, you guys. I swear. And I can't believe we're at the end of this epic. I feel like this might have been all his Star Trek stuff except for the telephoto novels, but I could be wrong. I mean, 480 pages, 88 pages is pretty freaking epic. So that's a huge body of work. I mean, amazing, right? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That was John Byrne, Star Trek from IDW. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share my content. Hit like. Blah, blah, blah. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.